I had to get my smoke on before we get started. Yeah, I'm on vacation down here, beautiful Florida, Orlando. All right, so we got Monday Night Raw. Now this time, they in Brussels, Germany. Alex Wright, John Claude Van Damme. Niggas like that. You know what I mean? This is where they came over there. This is where chocolate, and all that other shit. But just like I was saying when they was on SmackDown, WWE ain't playing with you. They are like the juggernaut. Like when they coming through, like they finna fuck some shit up. Like they doing their thing here. And wherever that they go, they finna shut your shit down. Right here, they was in a goddamn grunge, underground like arena or some shit. Like backstage, everywhere you go, like they got graffiti on the walls and shit. Like these folks get down like that. So everything was hot from start to finish, almost. Like the women's scene in WWE when it comes to like they secondary championships, like that shit, something needs to happen for them because that is not. I don't know. For me, it just seems like it's just I was rolling up when they came on, but everything else, like I was there. Like it's so much. Like now, I don't even want to see no matches, cuz I just want to see what you gonna say, what you gonna talk about. I think that's right now is what WWE's driving force is. You want to see these people, stars, motherfucker, and they got a lot of them. Like that Super Mario shit, like they got a lot of them. And right now, when you see that logo, around anywhere in your town, you gonna look at that shit and be like, I have to be there. You gonna spend your rent money, your tax income, whatever that you got. You know them WrestleMania tickets are so goddamn high, but guess what? They sold out. They sold out. These folks are coming in there and they coming in hot. They coming in white hot. And you ain't gonna be able to stop them. TKO is the best thing that ever happened to WWE. They can take these people anywhere. You know the same thing that John Cena was talking about that he's been doing for the past 25 years to these people. You ungrateful sons of bitches. You Buddhist man in the beginning. Then he did a good job with it. And then he just went on about his business. This man laid into these people in Brussels. This man laid into them. That was a good, at first it felt like the same old generic, I blame the fans. But this time it was different. This man put a little bit spin to it, a little bit of reality. And it went on for almost like 20 some minutes before Cody even came out there, said that you a whiny bitch. And I don't want to see this John Cena. I want to see somebody different, Chief. When I am pictured myself going to WrestleMania for the fourth consecutive time. For the fourth consecutive time here. And I say that because in the end, I'm going to say what I need to say. I envisioned a better John Cena here. I don't want this John Cena. You need to go back somewhere and find him and come back and see me some other time. He basically mic dropped this dude. So John got to come back with it. Round 1, go to Cody. Round 2 is in, Scotland, Glasgow? Next week? You're going to have to come bring it. But I say main event to say this. Jey Uso is not the main event. I can go ahead and get him out the way right now. What a disappointment. See, what should have happened is John Cena should have won the Royal Rumble to go on to WrestleMania because that is the last match that's going to close out WrestleMania weekend. It's the biggest storyline in the company right now. Meanwhile, you got Jey Uso barely holding on. Like literally. I can't believe that shit. Like, I'm watching, first off, Jey Uso, he's packing on some muscle, you can clearly tell. So he ran the ropes after he speared the guy and won, or whatever the case may be. So Jey Uso Jey Uso, he wins the match. They trying to do something with Jay because you have to. Because Jay is not a credible champion to go up against Gunther. He's just not. So they're trying to make him not go 50-50 or whatever the case may be to people because they're trying to build him up, right? I see what they're doing. But after the match, Jay tried to do the Tompe Tuacio, whatever that shit called. And his head, he fell over. He hit his head. And then he rolled up and got in the ring. And this is the moment that I was like, I don't know what you want from me. He looked at the camera. And he's like, I know I fucked that shit up, but I don't know whether I should run and do it again. Like, I don't know. He's looking at you, looking at me, and I'm like, I don't know what to do for you, G. I don't know what to do for you. You fucked that shit up. I don't know whether maybe you should go. He was looking like, help me. Like, what do I do? Like, do I keep going? Gunther came in and choked his ass out. The point I'm trying to make here is that this thing is not working. Like, Jay Uso is an afterthought, in my opinion. These folks do not care about this man. This man won the Royal Rumble, and he's not even going to main event WrestleMania. That is my point here. And then I read an article somewhere. I should screenshot this shit and put it up. He says that he doesn't care that he doesn't main event WrestleMania. What? If that's the case and you wasn't going to go all in on him and have him close the show out, put the company on your back and go, you could have easily allowed Cody to defend the title on night 1 and have Jay close out night 2 if you really believed in him. But you don't believe in him. So Gunther deserves better. He deserves to have somebody beat him who's going to elevate that championship and not turn it into a novelty act. The dude has the charisma, yes. But let's not forget, man, that this is the same Kofi Kingston shit. This is the same because they're not really behind him like that. It's pacification, something like that. They're trying to pacify him. They're trying to, make him happy because of who his cousin is, which is The Rock. They all over the video game and shit. The Roman and Seth and CM Punk, now that's going to be your main event, man. That's going to be your main event for night 2. I mean, not night 2, but night 1. They going to give it to Punk. You ain't got to have Punk win the title in the main event. You can give it to him right here. This is what you want. And you in there with 2 of the best that they have right now in WWE. Cody's on a whole nother level. He's like the showmanship or whatever. But if you're talking about like talent that they've been building consistently over the years, it's Seth Rollins and Roman. Then you add Punk in there. That is going to be your main event for night 1. And it's a shame. Because Jey Uso deserves to have that main event spot. It goes with his name. You can't really call yourself the main event like that then. What? Main event of Raws, SmackDowns, and all that shit. But, man, everything. Braun Breaker and Penta. Penta's brother is supposed to be coming there. Supposedly, those were some of the vignettes that you saw. That could be the case, but another thing that I noticed is that maybe that smoke shit, maybe that's Aleister Black. You got Karrion Kross being a little shit starter. Whenever you see that nigga, you know that nigga is up to no fucking good. And have you noticed that everybody who he talks to, he has a different hairstyle to match that person's hairstyle? Like, he's dropping these look. Like, I want to see what Karrion go here. I'm getting behind him. His little instigator-looking ass. Like, this show was pretty good, but it had some down spots. The Alpha Academy and the Ivy Nile. Like, no, not Alpha Academy, but the American Made. All that shit. Like, I ain't for all that. Like, they lose and everything else. They remind me of Pretty Deadly. They just lose. And if that's the case, I don't know. But other than that, but it really wasn't even about that. These people wanted to get you ready for what's in store and what's next is in Italy. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, all together in Italy. Tonight was the Russells and Brussels, brawling brutes, whatever you want to call it. And these folks gonna continue on when they gonna step foot in your country and they gonna make this money and you gonna come out and you gonna spend it. Point blank, that's it. These folks is not playing with you. And Raw was all right. It went by so fucking fast. Like the John Cena and Cody Rhodes shit seemed like it was 10 minutes to me. That shit was almost 30 minutes because the crowd kept chanting and doing that shit. You know how these international crowds go. But like, man, when you see that shit, like shit, just like, I don't know, man. It was a good afternoon watch.